So today, let's talk about how to communicate with parents, like how to get through to them effectively beyond just talking to them one-on-one. And actually, I shouldn't say beyond just talking to them one-on-one, because that is actually a great way to reach out to parents. Not the most effective, because you cannot possibly talk one-on-one with every single parent in your school to let them know what your PTO is doing. But certainly that is a strategy that should not be overlooked, because that connection, that personal connection, is actually really powerful. And so you should definitely be using that on the regular, in addition to these other communication methods that we're going to be talking about today. So in another one of my videos, a viewer asked, what is the most effective way to communicate with your parents? And the truth is, it's really going to depend on your school, because every school is going to have different methods kind of already baked in. So at my son's high school, we use, I think, Schoology and maybe Infinite Campus, or some combination of those two this year. I think they're trying to move all to Infinite Campus. Anyway, there are some baked in communication tools through that. So when I am looking to connect with parents, I ask the school secretary, like the principal's secretary, their assistant, to send out messages through Schoology, and also email, or not Schoology. Keep saying Schoology because I'm used to doing that. Through Infinite Campus is what I ask her to send it out through, and also via email, because I don't think everybody's set up, because Infinite Campus is actually new for us this year. And so I'm pretty sure that not all parents have signed up for the communication portal through there. So I asked her to send it out via email too. So definitely you can rely on the school to do that. And hopefully you have a good enough relationship with the school, with your principal, so that you can rely upon them. Definitely don't overlook that aspect, but also don't put all your eggs in that basket either. So I would definitely be connecting with parents on social. So you should have social profiles set up. I would probably do Facebook and maybe Instagram, because now you can, if you set your PTO up as an organization or like a business, you can post to both places at the same time, so that it doesn't, even though it's an additional social platform, you're not having to spend more time to get your messages posted both places. So I would definitely look at those. I probably wouldn't do Snapchat. I don't know how many parents are actually on Snapchat. And I don't personally do TikTok, so I probably wouldn't do TikTok, because I think that's kind of trendy and meant for a different thing. I think people on Instagram or Facebook are just kind of looking for the facts. Also some fun, but I think it's an easier platform to be seen on. So I would definitely check those platforms out. If you're I have a whole nother video, I think, or at least an article about how to get more followers or get your reach further out on Facebook, because all of these platforms really want you to pay for ads to get your messaging out. But there are a couple different ways around that. And one is setting up a Facebook group. So if you're looking for more information about that, definitely I can drop a link to that blog post or those resources in the description below. So make sure to check that out. The last thing I would encourage you to do is start your own email list, so that you actually have the emails of your school families, and that you can directly contact them. I have made the mistake in the last couple of years of kind of just relying on the school, just because we do have such a fabulous relationship with them. And I can just, like I said, just drop a note to the assistant and just say, hey, can you send this out? And she does it no problem, usually within a couple minutes. I kind of got lazy about that. But then what I realized, or what I didn't realize at the same time, was that there was some kind of setting that was screwed up on the school's end, to where all of their messages were getting marked as spam. And so I knew this, and because I'm a business owner, I regularly check my spam folder for messages that should have gone into my inbox but went to spam instead. But I think the vast majority of people don't do that, because I think a lot of people have a lot of emails, a lot of unread emails in their inbox. And personally, that is not how I roll, because I like to have pretty much every aspect of my life kind of cleaned up and in order, including my digital life. And so for the longest time, all those emails were getting marked as spam, and parents were saying, we haven't heard anything, nothing. And I'm I've been sending out emails. If you are definitely a member, then you're getting an email from us, because everything that I was asking the principal's assistant to send out, I too was replicating and sending out to our membership list. So it was good that I had that, but I didn't know at the time that I wasn't quite reaching everyone. And I would have been a little more diligent about getting additional email addresses and saying to people, if you're not getting our emails, and that means you are not a member, there's that. So learn from my mistake and really be the master of your own domain by getting parents' email addresses. So how can you get those email addresses? Well, one, you could do it if you had a room parent program. If you are like elementary school and lower, I think it's super easy to get this information because parents are eager to get their kids together for play dates, to have the contact information for birthday parties and all of that kind of fun stuff. As you get older, it's going to be a little more difficult, but if you're capturing it at the lower age and still keeping it, you can coordinate with the other PTOs to kind of pass along that information so that people can reach out and say, hey, here's what's going on. Chances are you aren't going to be that coordinated, so at least you can use it for the years that you need it though. I would really just work to maintain a list of all the contact information that you have, because I know even when my son was a senior last year and I was looking to get more senior parents involved, I actually went back to an email list from his kindergarten years and like found that I had all of like those play date information. They were still saved in my phone so that I could contact those parents and be like, hey, you have a senior too. Do you want to help with after prom? Do you want to help with the senior send off? And so it was funny that I still had those like contacts marked in my phone as being from those very early years, but it was a nice resource to have. So even if your PTO is not doing it, maybe you do it personally so that you have it if you have an occasion to use it like I did for the very specific reason of all of the senior activities. So I hope this has been helpful. I know it's hard to say, do everything, but if it feels like too much, just do one thing at a time. The one thing that you're going to do, I think first is really collect those individual email addresses, because I think that's so key, because that way you have the information and that you are not relying on anyone else. You're not relying on Facebook to put it in people's feeds. You know, they're having more and more ads. And as I'm on Facebook, I'm getting all this stuff that I am not really interested in following. I am not following it, but they keep suggesting things to me. And that amount only seems to be increasing of late. So that means that what people actually want to see is getting diluted. So you want to be in full control as much as possible for what people are saying. So you want to utilize the flyers that get sent home, like any digital communications, definitely the emails, and as well as social. And really the key to effective communications is not just saying things one time. Like you have to say it multiple times. I forget the statistic, but there's like a certain number, and I think it's in double digits, that it takes people to see something before they take action on it. So just remember that. You can't just say, hey, we need volunteers just one time, or there's the PTO meeting just one time. You have to say it multiple times, because people, honestly, they don't read things, even when you send it. So you need to send it out in multiple ways, multiple formats, on multiple platforms to get your message across. So I hope this is helpful and that you will just take it one step at a time if you are overwhelmed, but just know you will get there. And even if you're just reaching like a couple more people every time you add on a different method of communication, know that you're going in the right direction and you will get there eventually. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and that you will join me for the next one. Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All of these resources and more are waiting for you at ptoanswers.com.